Things your attorney wished every realtor knew. You're listening to Home Sellers Advantage. I'm your host, Aaron Zapata.
And I'm your other host, Todd Anderson. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Realty Group with Real Broker, and we are here to give you the Home Sellers Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv.
Or you can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253.
Hey, if you're selling a house and you have inherited the property, perhaps there's an estate attorney involved, perhaps it's a probate attorney, perhaps
it might be a divorce sale.
A divorce, yeah. There's something going on,
yeah.
And there is an attorney in the mix. Now, we work with a lot of attorneys. And so foremost, if you are working through a situation and you want a real estate team that has some attorney experience, please forward this video to your attorney, because we really want to work with you and your attorney because that's something that we are very accustomed to. Mm-hmm. Hence why we believe that we can speak into this conversation when an attorney is involved in a transaction.
Yep.
So what are some problems, Todd, that we have heard over the years and we have come to experience when working with attorneys? Like, what kind of things are they saying to us?
Well, there's a whole list of things that we could talk about. One of the most important things when there's an attorney that's involved with the transaction is communicate. Communication is very important. The attorney needs to know exactly what's going on with the file. Because if the attorney doesn't have that information, that attorney is not able to best represent you as the attorney's client. And so that's important for good communication between the attorney and your realtor.
Absolutely. And realtors have a bad rap, and it's probably deserved because they don't reply to text messages or emails in a timely manner in many situations.
Yeah, if you have a realtor that, aside from even the attorney, if you have a realtor that just disappears and is not communicative, that's a problem. But it's extremely problematic when there's an attorney involved and the realtor is not communicating.
This is such a problem right now, and this is just an aside because I have Verizon. Okay. And my phone has acted up, and I went to Apple, can't fix it. Went to Verizon, no problem. We're going to try to fix it, can't fix it. So my phone's under warranty. It's a brand new iPhone 17, and I'm not getting every message. Mm-hmm. I'm getting some text messages, some iMessages, some not, and nobody can fix it. So I went in 2 days ago, and they reset the SIM card, reset the network settings. Nothing works. So they ordered me a new phone, and they said, "Okay, we've ordered you a new phone," and I got the receipt that says a new phone's been ordered, and I left. This morning, I get a text message saying, "Hey, you can track the delivery of your phone." And I'm like, oh, cool. So it's going to be delivered. 2 days later, I get a text message at noon. Updated delivery date. We're delivering it tomorrow. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I pull it up and it says, could not obtain signature. And so they're now going to reschedule it for tomorrow while I'm working at the office.
Yeah.
This is not going to work, people. Verizon, you got to figure this out.
They had not let you know ahead of time that a signature was required.
And it's driving me crazy because I am one like Todd, and we believe in communication is essential. Mm-hmm. And it was sad to me when I logged into my laptop, my iPad, my MacBook on Tuesday after being away for 2 weeks. There's like 25 messages that didn't get delivered to me.
Wow.
That is so unlike me.
So talk about communication. Yeah.
Me crazy. So I'm literally like, while we're recording this, I'm on X trying to communicate directly with FedEx and Verizon because the people in the store have been no help to me whatsoever. So hopefully we'll get something resolved.
You're going to get some angry messages from Verizon for
why are you blasting me on X? Well, because you're doing a terrible job. That's why. Terrible. All right. Sorry. Setting that aside.
All right.
We're moving on.
You got it out of your system?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe. We'll find out.
So communication. Communication is important.
Number two
is
when the agents practice law. Okay, we're not lawyers, but I have seen so many agents fall into this trap where they start to define things that are in the contract that are really up for interpretation between the client and the attorney only. Like they start to act like they're the attorney.
Act like the attorney. Yeah, and there are some states where real estate, the attorneys actually do take care of the transactions, but not here in California. And so if there's an attorney involved, make sure that you stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Don't act as if you are the attorney. Always defer to the attorney when it comes to legal matters. Now, if it pertains to things pertaining to the contract and negotiating the contract, of course, that is the realtor's domain and area. But the realtor is not a licensed attorney. So make sure that the realtor does not act in such a manner.
That's right. So number 4.
Number 3.
Yes.
Aaron does a great job in selling homes, but he doesn't do so well in math.
Multitasking.
Or counting.
Or multitasking.
He doesn't have his fingers in front of him. 1, 2.
Thank you.
Next one is
much.
3.
Well, okay. This is not on our list, but okay. You have to have a decent personality. I'm just saying, like you can't just be dry.
Yeah.
That's really hard. So number 3.
Roll with the punches. Yeah. Number 3 is do not overpromise to the client.
That's right.
Don't make promises that cannot be kept. And this is really important. When it comes to unrealistic timelines or promising repairs or concessions that can't be agreed upon. If the realtor says to the client, this won't be an issue. Well, you don't know. The realtor doesn't know that won't be an issue. And certainly if there's an attorney involved, you do not want to make promises that are not able to be kept up, especially if there's something that ends up being a promise in writing. That can be problematic. So.
And a promise could be something as simply like, don't worry about it. It will work out.
Yeah.
Like that's a promise.
Yeah.
It will work out.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
Define working out.
Exactly. I mean, I haven't been to the gym because I have an injury and I don't work out. But is that the workout we're talking about? Right?
Or it will work out for who?
Exactly. So it's super important, not to overpromise the clients. They're attorneys, and you guys know this. If you're an attorney watching this, you know this. Like we have to be realistic when it comes to transactions, and it is not our job to overpromise to clients. It is what it is. They don't need a babysitter. They just need to be told straight.
Yep.
And so you need to know that about a realtor working with an attorney. You want to make sure they're on the same page.
Yep.
Number 4.
For reals. This is number 4.
Incomplete or sloppy documentation. Because we are working with sometimes, court cases and, going through divorce, you have different competing opinions and competing goals. Like you have to have all the signatures, all the emails, all the initials. You need to have all of the paperwork in. You just can't have sloppy or incomplete documentation. That's where, court cases fall apart.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure your team is really good at the documentation.
Everything needs to be documented. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the things that we do on that in terms of kind of the communication and the documentation is, we create a system of always CCing everybody on everything. So there's no sidebar.
Yeah.
There's no sidebar conversation.
Yeah.
That's right. If we're going to tell, a divorcing spouse one thing and then there's the other attorney with the other spouse, they're going to hear the same thing from us because we're a neutral third party. We're a neutral party in the process of selling a home. And so oftentimes we're mediating, but we have to make sure that documentation is clear.
That's right.
So number 5.
Number 5, focusing only on closing the deal. And the reason we say that is because oftentimes you might be in a position where you are not working in the best interest of your client in order to get the deal closed. Or let me give you another example, especially if there's an attorney. Let's suppose that it's a probate sale. And you could easily close the deal by having whoever's living in the house just buy the house off market. Well, that is a way of closing the deal, but the administrator for that probate has an obligation for the probate to sell it to do everything possible to get the highest possible sale for the home. And so they need to be able to show that, and the attorney working with the attorney needs to be able to know that the agent that has been hired to do that has worked with the administrator to get the highest possible price for the home. So that doesn't always mean just closing the deal and getting the quickest deal. It means actually going through the steps of the process to do the best for the estate and for the client.
Yeah. And oftentimes in this process of just focusing on the deal, closing the deal, you might be pressured to waive contingencies. You might minimize your inspection concerns. As your real estate team, like that's not somebody who's acting in your best interest. And the attorney involved really wants to make sure that the agent is not just about the deal. It really is about the client.
Yeah.
So much wrapped into that one.
Yeah.
Many nuances, different circumstances.
And every transaction is different. In some cases, it might be best to do what is needed to get to the close of the deal, to close the deal, because it is in the best interest of everybody. In other cases, it might not, because there might be a better way around it. So you really have to take it on a case-by-case basis. So make sure that your agent is working with your agent is working with your attorney, and not focusing on closing the deal, but actually getting the best possible outcome.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, moving on. We have the failure to manage emotions. And anytime an attorney is involved, normally that's just like clue number 1 that these are a little bit unusual circumstances. Not every deal needs an attorney in California. In fact, most do not. So if we've got an attorney involved, there's either like probate, a death in the family, and now you're dealing with someone that is working through grief and loss. And in that grief and loss, if there are other siblings or people that are inheriting money from the estate, you might be dealing with greed and envy. At the same time, you're dealing with grief and loss.
That's right.
If you're going through,
we see that all the time.
Yeah, if you're going through a divorce, you might be dealing with hatred, vengeance,
bitterness. If there's some form of judgment that is requiring the home to be sold, there's a whole batch of emotions that go along with that. Yeah.
And so when a real estate team comes in, this is where we really have to put on the counselor hat, and we have to be able to manage those emotions. We need to be able to get people to move past the emotion to the logical decision, so that everybody's on the same page. Yeah,
and this is not to say that there shouldn't be emotions. And emotions are part of being human. And so it doesn't necessarily mean the emotions are wrong. It's more a matter of managing them. I think Aaron said the key word, taking those emotions and managing them so that you can get towards the finish line.
And, our job is to help counsel the parties through a transaction with their emotions in check.
That's right.
We had a situation one time where it was a divorced couple. They were already divorced, and they were trying to use our community text thread to send jabs at each other. Okay,
I remember that one.
We're not children here. We understand that you're mad at each other, but we had to rein that in multiple times throughout the transaction.
So let's keep this professional
to keep it on track.
And all of the document. Yeah, this is.
Yeah. Right. And so if there's a real estate team out there, a realtor that's unable to manage that side of it, it can be quite problematic.
Yeah. The correspondence pertaining to the contract is not the place for passive aggressive communication.
Yes. Yes.
So that was number 6.
Number 7.
Number 7 is not understanding the contract. It is vitally important that all parties understand the contract that you are in. That obviously that pertains to the realtor, and that realtor must be, going back to number 1, in active communication with the attorney. But then, of course, that realtor also must have the ability to explain to you, the client, the administrator, the executor, whatever the case is, the details of that contract, what it all means, and so that there's no confusion. Because real estate transactions can get very, very confusing, especially when you look at all of the fine print. It can get, and all the deadlines and the contingency time periods and the negotiating. It's not just negotiating the price. When you're in the process of an escrow, there's other negotiations that take place, and so you need to understand all of that. And so all parties need to be in a communication so there's no misunderstanding.
And there's different kind of addendums and contracts for different things. There's probate sales, trust transactions, divorce situations, commercial deals, tenant-occupied sales, short sales, seller financing, 1031 exchanges. All of those are different parts of the contract and different addendums.
Yeah.
And so you got to make sure you understand the transaction.
There's different timelines for everything. If it's a reverse mortgage, there's timelines involved with that. If there's a 1030, all of these have different timelines. You need to understand all of that.
So I probably shouldn't say this story, but I'm going to anyways. I called the Department of Real Estate legal hotline. Okay. Because we have a bank of attorneys available to us to answer any questions pertaining to the contract. Now, I've been a broker for 24 years or something like that, and I've gone through a lot. And I had a specific question that we had never had come up before, and I was asking it in advance because I didn't know how it would go. So I called the attorney, and the attorney said two things that were really shocking to me. He said, number one, he said, "Let me Google this." I was like, did you just say that? Like, seriously? Like, oh, okay. So, fine. You Googled it. And then I said, okay, well, like, here's what I think it means. And the reason I think it to be this way is because I own a specific company that deals with this circumstances sometimes. And the second thing that he said that shocked me, he says, you probably know better than I do.
Wow.
I've never had the legal hotline say that to me.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, oh my word. Okay. So that's okay. I guess we're going to go down this road because nobody knows how it's going to go, but it ended up working out fine. But those two things.
So for our next listing appointment, when we go to the listing appointment, we should ask the owner, well, can you tell us what you think the house is worth?
Yes. You probably know better than I do.
You probably know better than we'll just list it for whatever you say.
So if you're an attorney, like, please don't ever tell the client, let me Google it. Or let me see what ChatGPT says.
Yeah, so this is advice for the attorneys that are listening.
Oh, boy. So homeowners, we do know our stuff. We've been around a long time, processed hundreds of transactions. And so we know our stuff. Number 8.
Number 8 kind of goes along with the one on communication, trying to bypass the attorney.
But a step further.
Like
we're literally trying to carve out and cut out the attorney.
Yeah.
And there's a number of reasons why clients have try this. Number one is the cost. Oh, don't call my attorney.
It's going to cost me if you
$300 every time you make the phone call, right? So that's kind of like a financial reason to, sidestep the attorney. The other thing too, which is why we include attorneys in our conversations, is because they know what the attorney's going to say, and they don't like the answer. And so it's like, well, I don't want to go to dad because dad's
go to mom.
Dad's going to tell me no, and mom's going to tell me yes, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And so the kids know, like, where do we go to get the right answer that we're looking for?
And if they don't work, then go to grandma or grandpa. They'll always say yes.
Yeah. So, you got to keep the attorneys informed.
Yeah.
You got to keep them on the same communication trail. All right. So that's number 8. Number 9.
What is number 9?
Number 9, weak transaction management.
Don't be a weakling.
So
don't be a girly man.
That's right. Once you're like listing a house is one portion of what we do.
Yeah.
Negotiating an offer is one part of what we do. Opening the escrow is another part of what we do. And then there is we're going to move through the entire transaction together, part of what we do. And that's negotiations, inspections, requests for repairs, monitoring, handyman, and other things that need to happen all throughout the transaction. Some teams, some realtors are good in one spot, but not the other.
Yeah.
You really need a team that can handle all of it.
Yeah, you need to have a team that has systems set up. And they follow those systems, and when something follows a system, it's much easier to manage. And your attorney will appreciate working with a realtor that has a system in place that will manage the transaction properly.
That's right.
That's very important.
So that is number 9.
You got one more?
We do, I think.
One more. Let's do
go.
one more.
10 reasons why you should work with an agent who knows how to work with attorneys.
Yep. What's number 11?
We should rename the whole video.
Number 11?
Number 10.
Number 10. All right.
Lack of professional boundaries.
Yes.
Whew. Yeah. Okay. Simple. Copy everyone on emotionally charged emails. Okay. We get those. Like, we have been on recipient of those. And when everybody is CC'd, it does temper that emotion. Negotiate aggressively, but without someone who negotiate aggressively without authorization, like that is not good.
Mm-hmm.
If your agent is stepping in and negotiating, but they don't actually have the authority.
Mm-hmm.
You see, again, we've learned from experience where an agent makes a commitment on behalf of their client, and they never ever talked to their client.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "Oh yeah, no problem, we'll get that done."
Yeah.
And then they go talk to their client and says, "Oh, we can't get it done."
Yeah.
Ooh, why not? Well, fill in the blank.
Yeah. My client will say yes to that, or
Exactly.
or my client's absolutely going to refuse that.
Right.
Well, you haven't talked with the client.
Yeah.
So
You can't speak
the
with
proper response is say, "Let me discuss this with my client. We'll get back to you."
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Yeah.
Professionalism.
Yeah, and hopefully, if you're listening to this and you're going through a tough situation, perhaps you are going through a divorce and you're trying to find a real estate team to help you out. Like, you just need to understand, like, we're on team transaction. Like we're not on your team. We're not on the other person's team. We literally have to be pro closing, get this deal done. And that's what we're working towards. And so, we have professional boundaries. We will not entertain sidebar conversations. We will keep everything in front of us, so to speak, so that we can tackle the issue, which is the sale, and move the ball forward on the field to a touchdown.
Yep.
So, well, we hope that helps you as you're watching this. Perhaps you're going through a difficult situation, and you are trying to convince your attorney that we might be the people to work with you. So send this to them. And how can they call us, Todd?
833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253.
That's right. And if you want to hear it sung to you, you might just have to call Todd and ask you.
Yeah, just call me and I'll serenade you with our jingle.
Exactly. Hey, we're signing off here. And again, if you're an attorney watching this, we do want you to know that A, we're not afraid to talk to attorneys. We talk to them all the time. B, we get a lot of referrals from attorneys on different transactions, from early on stages to well within it. We've got a whole slew of vendors that we work with to assist clients through the process of selling a property. So perhaps you just stumbled across us or your client sent it to you, and we'd be happy to talk with you. So yeah, give us a call at 833-305-2253. Tell them you heard about it on YouTube when the call center answers that call, and then we will give you a call back if they can't transfer us directly. Okay?
That's right.
What do we do, Todd?
We sell homes.
Yes, we do. And until next time, thank you for spending time with us today. We look forward to giving you more content next time. God bless. Thanks for listening to the Home Seller's Advantage. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Real Broker, licensed by the California Department of Real Estate, number 02022-092. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.